Dear students, today we are going to explain Unit 15, Hello 7. The unit is called Tourism Today. Actually, we are going to start by reading the text. From this text, we are going to get the important vocabulary we are going to use in our lesson today. People have visited Egypt ever since Greek and Roman times, but modern tourism began when an Englishman, Thomas Cook, arranged the first package tour in 1841. Package tours are holidays arranged by a travel company, which include travel, accommodation, and sometimes meals for a fixed price. Mass tourism, as we know it today, first became popular in 1960s when air travel became cheaper, and today tourism is a huge business. Millions of holiday makers, tourists, are carried by air to destinations all over the world. Countries on the Mediterranean coast alone attract 100 million tourists every summer. Countries make a lot of money out of tourism. There are also disadvantages. For example, every minute of every day, about 100 Europeans visit Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. Their feet wear away the stone floors. The buses waiting for the tourists produce pollution that damages the outside of the building. During the tourist season, many of the world's great cities are very difficult to live in. Try ordinary food shopping in Prague or Florence in the middle of summer. Tourists with cameras block your way. Shopping is impossible. For Egypt, tourism is the second most important earner of foreign currency after oil. The tourist industry employs thousands of people such as travel agents, hotel staff, and building workers. Egyptian travel agents think that by the year 2017, 16 million tourists will visit Egypt each year, compared to the 9 million who visited in 2006. If this happens, new hotels and roads will have to be built, and new parks and resorts will need to be planned. And now let's move to some important definitions mentioned in the text. Accommodation. Accommodation, a place to live, stay, or work in. Culture, the arts, beliefs, behavior, or a particular society. Reputation, the opinion that people have or form of a person or a product. Staff, the group of people who work for an organization. Package tour, a holiday arranged by a company for a fixed price. Destination, the place you are going to. Where away, it's a phrasal verb actually. It means to disappear by using a lot. Currency, money used by a country. Mass, involving a large number of people. Essential, important and necessary. Pretend to behave as if something is true when you know it isn't. Fixed, already decided and impossible to change. Now let's move to some important prepositions and idioms and expressions mentioned in the text. At particular times. At particular times. We go to school at particular times. Air-conditioned buses. Tourists prefer to travel by air-conditioned buses. Benefit from. All students benefit from their schools and teachers. Compared to, compared with, compared to, compared with. Cut down means reduce. Get value for something, for example, for money. In a friendly way. He said good morning in a friendly way. On the Red Sea coast, produce pollution, public transport, sail past, knock down or pull down, knock down or pull down, at particular times, at its best, brings in, make money out of, wear away or eat away, stay at or in a hotel, fill in a form like an application form, bring foreign currency like tourism brings foreign currency to our country, take a trip to, at a fixed price. I bought this watch at a fixed price. Now let's move to the practice session. And number one says, tourism industry. Yes, I am waiting for your answers. Tourism industry, very good. Employs huge numbers of Egyptian. It means it provides job opportunities for them. Number two, one of mass tourism is overcrowding and pollution. So it will be one of the disadvantages. One of the disadvantages. We can use the omission way, which I taught you before. Advantages equal benefits equal merits. So the three are wrong. So the only one is disadvantages. Number three, Egypt gets most of its currency out of tourism. Most of its, yes, foreign currency. Foreign currency. Four, about million tourists visited Egypt last year compared to the 4 million in 1999. Five, planes carry the loads of holiday makers to their destination. Six, companies and countries make a lot of money out of tourism. Seven, pollution caused by the buses waiting for tourists damages the outside of the building or wear away the outside of the building. Very good. Number eight, it is very difficult to find accommodation during the tourist season. Nine, the tourist feet wear away the stone floor on Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. Wear away or eat away. 10, you will get all the services here at a fixed price. So there is something wrong in the sentence. It should be at a fixed price. 11, the world's great cities are very difficult to live in during the tourist season. 12, Spain makes a lot of money out of tourism. Out of means from. 13, it was Thomas Cook that the first package tour in 1844 that arranged. 14, Luxor is a popular Egyptian destination. Destination means a place you go to for many tourists. 15, in Europe, tourism began in 1950 when air travel became cheaper. Mass tourism means group tourism. 16, space is important because it brings hard currency. The answer is tourism. Very good, very good. 17, the cost of flight from Europe to Egypt it will not change until next year. So it is, yes, fixed. 18, the of Britain is pound sterling. Yes, I can hear you. The currency of Britain. Very good. The currency of Britain. 19, the area of land next to the sea is called a beach. It's called a beach. 20, Sharm el Sheikh is on the Red Sea. Yes, the Red Sea coast. Which one of this? This, of course, because sometimes you mix up using this one and this one. So the answer is coast, C-O-A-S-T. 21, if the children play here, they will wear what? The grass. They will wear away the glass. What are you heading for is the same as what is your destination. Yes, not your destiny. 23, the buses waiting for tourists, a lot of pollution. They produce, like make. 24, in the future, believe that more tourists will come to Egypt. Of course, in the future, travel agents. 25, too many tourists can make towns and cities very crowded. Now I'm going to leave you a chance and leave you alone to start to think of the answers of the following questions. Now it's time for grammar, and today's lesson is modals for necessity. By modals for necessity, I mean using must and have to and need to. When something is necessary, when something is necessary, so it is very important for me to do it. I explain this by using must or have to. Let's read the first example. You must come and see us at the weekend. This is what we call a warm invitation. When you ask someone to come and see you at your new house, for example, you tell him, you must come and see us. The second use, you must wash your hands before you eat. This is what we call a strong advice, because a regular advice is used with should, but this one is a strong advice. Like nowadays, when we have the corona pandemic, we use the modal must instead of should. You must wash your hands before you eat. Number three, we must buy souvenirs for our friends. You know, souvenirs, of course, they are gifts or presents. We buy them to remember a country we have visited. This is called a strong reminder. I must go now. I must see my doctor tomorrow. These are all different usages for the modal verb must. Now let's move to mustn't. Not allowed to, not permitted to, or banned from. They are all equal prohibited from or forbidden to do something. You mustn't smoke in hospitals. Let me tell you something very important. Whenever you find a sign in the streets or in hospitals or in libraries or something like that, private places, this sign says no smoking, no talking, no photography. So you can use directly the modal verb mustn't. You mustn't smoke in hospitals equals you aren't allowed to smoke in hospitals. You are forbidden to smoke in hospitals. You are banned from smoking in hospitals. Smoking is not allowed in hospitals. Parking is forbidden here. This is another example. What about have to, have got to, and need to? Yes, they are the same, like using must. Equal, it is necessary to do something. I can go out. I have to work. Or you can say, I must work. But the difference between must and have to is what? Yes, must is a personal feeling of obligation, but have to is external feeling of obligation. Someone tells you you must do it or obliges you to do it. So we use I have to, like rules and regulations of schools, exams, driving on the left hand side of the lane of the street. We use I have to drive on the left hand side. I have to use my safety belt. My children have to go to school next year because this is their age. He has got to sign all the papers. By the way, using has got is the same as has, to sign all the papers. I need to take some medicine. I have to take some medicine equals I must take some medicine. I have to get up early tomorrow. I must get up early tomorrow. I'll have to send the fax tomorrow. So using have to is the same as I will have to. What about had to? Yes, I can hear you. Had to is the past of have to and has to, and at the same time we cannot use must in the past. It is only had to. It means it was necessary to do it. We had to take a taxi. We had to take a taxi as it was raining heavily yesterday, for example. We cannot say we must take a taxi. Take care, had is followed by to. I had to work 6 days a week. It was necessary for me to work 6 days a week. I am talking about the last week. My flight is at 6 in the morning. I will have to get up early. This is a future one. Have you ever had to go to hospitals? Was it necessary for you to go to hospitals? What about don't have to, don't need to, and needn't? This is the negative way of saying must not. We don't use mustn't here. We use don't have to, don't need to, and needed in the present. Equals, it isn't necessary when you have other option. When you are on holiday, you don't need to go to bed early. Equals, you don't have to go to bed early. You don't need to go to bed early. You needn't go to bed early. She doesn't have to work on Saturday. She doesn't have to work on Saturday. She doesn't need to work on Saturday. She needn't work on Saturday. Won't have to equals won't need to equals it won't be necessary for the future. I won't have to clean the room tomorrow. Mother will do it. What about didn't have to, didn't need to? It means it wasn't necessary to do it. I didn't have to do the shopping yesterday. My mother did it. I didn't have to go to school yesterday. It was a holiday. You needn't have brought your umbrella. You needn't have brought your umbrella. This means that I brought it, but it was not necessary. This job needs computer skills. I need to finish the job early. I must finish it early. Must he send the email now? This is the question form. Must he send the email now? Do you have to do the job now? Does she need to go now? Did she have to borrow that money? It means, was it necessary for her have to borrow the money? Have you got to be at the office every day? It means, do you have to be at work every day? Has that man got to carry all the boxes by himself, or does he have to carry them by himself? What about moving now to the advice? Yes, giving advice with should, ought to, had better. If I were you, I would do it. It's a good idea. It's advisable. It is desirable to do something. You should make a study plan to recognize or organize your work. Equals, it is a good idea to make a study plan to organize your work. It is advisable to eat fresh food. You ought to eat fresh food. You shouldn't leave your job. If I were you, I wouldn't leave my job. You should have done your homework yesterday. Take care in the past. Should is followed by have plus the past participle, and this is not advice, this is blaming. You shouldn't have parked your car here. It is no parking area. Also, it is blaming or criticism. Now let's move to the practice. Time is running. You be strong and healthy. It is a very important rule. You, of course, must be. You must be. You hurt animals. They are creatures like us. You mustn't hurt animals. Children pick flowers or plants. They are useful for us. Children. So tell me, which is stronger? Needn't, don't have to, or mustn't? Yes, I can hear you. Mustn't pick up flowers. In Jordan, you drive on the left. It is against the law. Of course, you mustn't drive on the left. I remember to buy stamps. It is important to do that. I must. Yes, I can hear you. Strong reminder. 6. I have warned you twice not to do that. You mustn't do that. 7. We give in our homework tomorrow. We have got to. 8. You take photograph near here. It is forbidden. You mustn't. Yes, it's written on the sign. Maybe it's a military area. 9. Must we finish the exercise today? No. No. You don't have to. You don't have to. 10. You come to the meeting if you are busy. You needn't, or you don't have to come, or you needn't come to the meeting. Now I'm going to leave you with the rest of the exercise, starting from 11. Take your time. I'm going to leave it for you. Take your time and don't hesitate to answer them, because you must have confidence in yourself. Now you have understood the lesson and everything is clear. And in addition to this exercise, I'm going to give you another one, which is a test, a simple test on Unit 15, which I hope you have understood well. This is a simple test. You can pause the screen at any time and answer it. This is a comprehension passage. This is a comprehension passage for extra practice. And translation, and a paragraph about how can Egypt attract more tourists or tourism industry, the business of tourism. You can notice that all the paragraph needed to be written are related to the topic of today. Thank you very much, and I wish you a very nice day.